What's up, guys? This is Big Dru, and this is Titan Lifestyle. I'm back in the lab once again. I do this every Friday at 2 p.m. If you guys haven't watched the show before, technically what I do is I'll talk about Titan events. I'll highlight a couple of Titan therapies. I usually pick out two topics to discuss with you guys. Today, it's actually three related topics. And also, we're going to jump into some Q&A. So get your questions ready and put my thinking cap on. I'll give everybody a minute just to get on and get settled in. As the questions come up on my screen, I will let you guys know and try to get them as quick as I can. But yes, this is Titan Lifestyle. We're going to jump right into the therapy of the week. What we're going to highlight this week is Retta. So if you guys are interested in Retta, there are a couple different ways that people are using Retta. Some people are taking a normal dose. And actually what some people are starting to do now is they're starting to microdose. What microdose means is basically you just take a smaller amount more frequently as opposed to a larger amount less frequently. So why would you want to microdose Retta? The main reason you want to microdose Retta, well, first of all, Retta targets abdominal fat.
Are you struggling with stubborn
Visceral
belly fat?
Anytime you have fat around your stomach, it's always good when you could target that specific area. A lot of times people, that's the only area where they gain body fat. So it's good that you have that specific target in your abdomen. Like I said plenty of times before, everything goes around your core. So if your core is tight, if your stomach, lower back, love handles, sides, everything is tight, your body's gonna look great no matter how big or small you are. So if you want to target that core, you can microdose the Retta. It also is gonna help preserve lean muscle mass. So other stuff, other the GLP-1s that people will take, whether it's TERS or semi, those sometimes people will lose muscle because it's targeting your overall body mass. As opposed to Retta, you're going to be able to keep your muscle. So bodybuilders, people like myself that always want to keep their lean muscle that they work so hard to get, you're not going to have to worry about losing that. So even though the scale may go down, the muscle's not going anywhere, which is huge. Very, very big in bodybuilding as well, because we like to keep our muscle and we like to always burn fat. Now, it's going to help your strength and performance. You're not going to lose strength. With other fat burners from other places or other GLP-1s, sometimes people will take those and they'll start to actually lose strength. They'll say, wait a minute, I'm burning fat or I'm losing weight, but I'm losing strength. With Retta, you don't have to worry about that. It's going to preserve your strength and it's going to preserve your performance. You don't have to worry about losing sets or losing PRs. It's not going to be effective when taking Retta. Now, if your calories are down because you're taking Retta, because you're not eating as much, that may affect your performance or weights or strength. But again, as long as your calories are in check, the way they normally would be, including Retta in your protocol is not going to change your strength at all. And it also sharpens, defines, and shreds. That's the main reason why people will take Retta. They want to get leaner, they want a smaller stomach, or they want a flatter stomach, or they want more defined legs or arms. Ladies always like a flat stomach as well. So that is the reason why you'd want to microdose. I've never been a believer in microdosing in terms of other stuff, but in this, I actually feel like it would actually benefit. The way Retta works, also when it's slowing your digestion down, if you microdose, it's not going to affect it in such a large way. So if you're having trouble getting your meals in while taking Retta, try microdosing. It might not affect your appetite as much, but then again, you can adjust it how you need be. So everyone works differently, but again, microdosing Retta is the way to go. Now, what do some of the patients report at Titan Medical from microdosing? They're going to get lower inflammation throughout the body. They're going to get more stable energy levels, less bloating. So a lot of times people think they're gaining weight or they think they're getting a fat stomach, but it's just bloat. Maybe they haven't used the bathroom. Maybe there's a lot of gas in there, a lot of acid. So it's also going to help with better digestion, less bloating. Obviously, when you're eating and you're digesting your food better, it's working better around. Again, it makes no sense eating a bunch of food if you're not going to digest it properly, or it's just going to linger around to give you the bloat. So not going to have that problem with Retta. Stronger fat burning around the midsection, like I said earlier, it's going to target your midsection. So if you're one of those people where the only thing you want to get smaller is your waist, like myself, I think it would be great for you. Like, again, I don't want anything to get smaller except for my waist. I want everything else to be big and full, and I want my waist to be small and my stomach to be flat. So this I would definitely benefit from. Um, and you're going to have noticeable body composition changing. Now, when you hear recomp or body composition, what that basically means is your body, the scale is not moving, your weight's pretty much staying the same, but you're going to notice big changes in the mirror. When that happens is when your body really hits the next level, because you're going to step on the scale, say, wait a minute, I haven't lost any weight. But when you look in the mirror and people see you, they're going to say you're looking a lot better. So with Retta, you're going to notice a recomposition of the body. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you may stay 200, but you may look 220 because you're so lean. But again, the recomp is really where it's at. A lot of times people think they want to gain or lose weight, but they just have a look that they're going for. So if you're going for that look, Retta is definitely going to help you too. This is the part that people don't really talk about when it comes to Retta. Most people assume that if you're taking Retta, you're taking a GLP-1, you want to lose 40, 50, 60 pounds. Not the case. When microdose, it's going to target abdominal fat without shrinking everywhere else. So in other words, you're not going to have to worry about losing size of your whole body with the microdose. It's going to actually target the specific belly or visceral or core fat. It's perfect for men and women who are already lean but want to sharpen up. Again, I like to stay lean year round. So if you're lean year round, if your diet's on point lean year round, you could also benefit from taking Retta. Now, it's not going to make you, like I said, you're not going to lose 40 pounds, but you're definitely going to see a difference in the mirror. You're definitely not going to notice a strength decrease. Your performance is not going to decrease. And again, your stomach's going to be getting flatter and your core is smaller. So anytime your core gets smaller, everything else pops. If you want a big back, small waist, or even ladies, you want a smaller waist, you want to show the glutes, show the booty a little bit more. If the waist is tight and the stomach is flat, then everything's gonna pop. If the waist isn't tight and the stomach's bulging out, even though you have a great booty, it's not gonna look right because you're gonna have a booty on one side and a booty in the stomach too. It's gonna look crazy. You don't want to have that. So you want to have a flat stomach, small waist. Whether you're a guy, you want a big lats, small waist. Whether you're a lady, you want a small waist to make the booty look bigger or make yourself more of an hourglass shape. Definitely gonna have to do that. Now, again, when you're microdosing the Retta, again, you're not gonna have such a severe appetite suppression. So if you've been taking Retta, and you've been noticing that it's working great, but you just can't eat enough, your appetite's lower, I would also suggest trying it microdosing so that way your appetite won't be affected. Some people take Retta and they actually want to continue to eat normally. So, and just let the Retta do its job. So if that were the case, also microdosing is better. Now, the reason why people are using Retta right now, the holidays just happened, whether you celebrated Thanksgiving or whatever religion you are. If you celebrated something different, usually there's a lot of food, there's a lot of sitting around, there's a lot of cheat meals going on. Usually people are off their meal schedule, are kind of eating and waiting to eat and this and that. So holiday inflammation is hitting, Retta is going to help. Travel bloat, because you're traveling, again, you may be eating airport food or hotel food or out of the mix, eating bars and stuff you normally wouldn't eat. That's definitely going to help with the travel bloat. It's going to help, again, target the midsection without losing the muscle. And it's also going to help with metabolic support, which is going to put you into full weight loss phase. Now, if you're already a titan and plan on something stronger that it helps, try it out. Retta microdose is definitely going to help. Now, people that are out there, if you have used Retta, if you've microdosed it or take it normally, give me a shout out or give me a shout and let me know the difference you felt as opposed to one or the other. Because on paper, everything looks great, but I actually like to hear from patients or hear from people that have actually done it themselves rather than just read information or somebody else. So microdose opens it up for almost anyone trying to get leaner, sharper, and more dialed in. So anybody who's looking for that, you could definitely hit up Titan. They'll take care of you over there at Titan. Just hit up the line. They could answer any questions you may have about Retta, how to take it, how to dose it, micrograms, milligrams, whatever they tell you. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. But again, hit up Titan, let them know that I sent you and ask them about Retta, because Retta is like the next level thing right now. A couple years back, it was Semi, and then it turned into Terza, and then now it seems like it's Retta. It seems like they finally found something that's going to make people lose weight but not lose muscle and not completely lose their appetite. Because again, you have to eat. You can't just starve yourself. You got to put gas in the car. You got to put oil in the car. You got to put food in your body. So whether it's a small amount or a large amount, you have to eat. I'm not a fan of fasting and all that stuff. I know some people do it for whatever reasons, but you're going to burn yourself. I'm going to burn myself out included if I'm working out and I'm not eating enough. So that's the way you could take Retta. It's a different way you could try it out. Again, microdose. If you guys aren't familiar how to microdose, just call Titan Medical and let them know. Just say, hey, I'm already on Retta. I watched a video and Drew was talking about microdosing. How does that work? They could probably walk you through it, let you know how to adjust your dosing, let you know how to take it, or whatever the case may be. I'm not a medical provider, so you'd have to call them and they give you all the information on that. I'm gonna check the screen real quick and see if we have any questions. No questions as of right now, but again, I'm on here for the next 30 minutes or so. If you guys have any questions about Titan Medical, nutrition, workouts, training, or anything health related or fitness related or supplementation related or RX related, anything, hit me up. I'll be here again. I'll answer your questions live. And if I don't get to your questions during this live, I always go back and watch it over and on, whether I'm on Facebook or Instagram. If I'm watching the live over again, and I see people in the comments, I try to go in, not all of them, but I try to go in, send people DMs or instant messengers to let them know, answer the questions they may have, because some people may be at work right now, they may be able to tune in. But again, we have the podcast. So I've done about 250 to 300 shows. So it's been years. I've been doing this a long time now. So if you guys or girls ever want to watch a podcast or look back on some of the stuff I've talked about, if you missed a couple things, you could always go to Titan Medical, go to the podcast logo on your iPhone, or if you have an Android, just Google search Titan Medical Center, Titan Lifestyle with Big Dru, and you'll see all the episodes and everything that me and John have ever touched on over the years. Let's see what we got here. Now I'm gonna jump into one of my topics real quick. I have three topics. They're all pretty much related. Everything is so tech savvy now, and everything is AI this and digital that, and people are losing their jobs to robots and all this stuff. The next one I'm going to talk about right now is Waymo. 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 Now Waymo is self-driving taxis, and they are coming to Tampa. Here where Titan Medical is at. They're coming to Tampa. Now, I have a lot of mixed reviews about these because it's a driverless taxi. So basically, it's going to be picking you up. You're going to get into a taxi. It's going to have no driver. It's going to have, obviously, the coordinates where it needs to take you based off of the information you put, whether it's through an app like Uber or Lyft. I'm not sure how it's going to work. But so basically, you just get into the taxi and it takes you where you need to go. A lot of people are skeptical because there's no driver behind the wheel. And we're still in the early stages of the self-driving thing with the cars, so people are kind of skeptical, but they're already having some issues. Now, the company announced it's expanding its app-based ride-hauling service into several markets, and it's going to be in Atlanta, Austin, Los Angeles, Phoenix, San Francisco. It's already there already. They're bringing it to Tampa. Jane Castor, who's the mayor of Tampa, said innovation can improve people's daily lives. And this technology has potential to do just that, expanding transportation options while reducing crashes and congestion. Says we're excited to see what the next chapter of mobility brings to our residents. Now, I have mixed reviews on this. It's self-driving. And you could program cars to simulate real life, but when there's real life situations actually happening, whether it's construction, it could be anything, is it really going to make the adjustment? So again, there's already been instances with these self-driving taxis, which I'll get into in a little bit. It says there's more than 100 million miles under anonymous driving under its belt. The company touts itself as driving vehicles as being safer than vehicles operated by humans. However, its vehicles have been involved in crashes, and riders and residents have found themselves in interesting situations involving driverless cars. Now, I'm going to jump into one of those interesting situations right now. Because the first one was Waymo. That's the company bringing driverless taxis to Tampa. Now, go to the next one. Cops stunned as Waymo cruises through active police standoff. Now, again, like I said, you could do all the simulations and testing on these cars, but there's going to be certain instances and situations they're not programmed for. Again, this is one of them. Um, so I guess the Waymo driverless taxi picked somebody up. The police were having a live standoff. So the police had a live standoff, and they have their guns drawn, dealing with a hostage or whatever the situation be. And then the Waymo driverless taxi with the customer in it, in the back seat, drove literally right through the middle of a police standoff. So again, there's a lot of kinks in it, a lot of kinks they need to figure out before people start doing that. Now, if that were me and I was in the back of that Waymo driverless taxi, I drove through a stand-up, I would immediately sue. I'm suing everybody. I'm suing Waymo. I'm suing everybody, because that could be life threatening. I mean, what if there was open gunfire and the Waymo just drove right into it? So luckily, nothing happened. But I mean, it says early Tuesday morning, a self-driving car driven by Waymo took its riders' lives into its hands when it drove through a red light. So not only did it drive through a stand-up, it drove through the red light, which automatically, that right there, I mean, red light means stop in any situation. So if the car or system is programmed, it should have stopped at the red light first, and it could avoid this whole problem. So the Waymo driverless taxi drove through the red light directly into a violent police standoff. It said the incident occurred at an intersection in downtown LA where police had made a felony stop after a chase. So it was a high-speed chase, making a felony stop in downtown LA, which is extremely congested. And the Waymo just drove right through the middle. It says footage shared by somebody shows a Waymo rolling past a row of squad cars without a care in the world, coming just feet away from the driver who was lying face down on the asphalt, complying with police. So again, the driver of the car that was involved in the chase was laying on the ground, surrendering to police, and the Waymo car drove right through the police, through the red light, through the police stand-up, and almost hit the guy as he's on the ground surrendering to the police. And this is all selfless. So if you're in the car, there's nothing you could do. Now, I'm not sure how those cars, the safety systems work. I don't know if they had I'm not sure if you could open a door if the car is moving. Some cars have automatic lock if the car is moving. So I don't know if they saw what was going to happen, if someone that's in the taxi and the Waymo could actually just open the car and jump out, which is a whole nother issue, safety issue. But again, I mean, it's bad that it's just happening. Waymo hasn't been around that long. There's already been instances. But I could see where if they don't fix this problem, I could see it happening more and more. Tampa is full of construction. I mean, I live downtown. There's construction everywhere. I mean, the Ubers and the Lyft drivers and the Dashes, they're taking almost different streets every day because there's new construction. There's roadblocks. One day they can go this way. One day it's a one way. So if the Waymo comes to downtown Tampa, it's going to be a headache. Because I could see it just driving all around and not being up to date with the construction. So that's just one incident with the Waymo, which brings me to another one out in San Francisco. So the first one was Waymo's coming to Tampa, announcing it's going to come to Tampa, driverless taxis. The second one was Waymo in LA drove a customer that was riding in the driverless taxi through an active standoff, almost hitting someone that's on the ground after running a red light. And then the third one, Waymo hits dog in San Francisco just weeks after a beloved cat was killed by driverless taxi. So now we're looking at drove through an active standout. Waymo hit a dog just weeks after it hit a cat. So in a short amount of time that Waymo's been on the road, active stand-up and a dog and a cat. Now these are ones that have been documented that I've heard about or I've read about. So I'm sure there's other instances too that haven't been out there yet. But it says a Waymo car has hit a dog in San Francisco just weeks after a beloved neighborhood cat was killed by one of the driverless taxis. Now, Waymo said in a statement that one of its robo taxis made contact with a small unleashed dog in the roadway. Now, they're going to say unleashed because they're going to try to, make it seem like it's the owner's fault or the dog wasn't leashed. I don't care if the dog's leashed or not. I mean, if it doesn't recognize movement in a street to slow down, it's got to be something alive. I mean, it's either a dog, a cat, a human. If it could detect something moving, why is it going to hit it? Or if it's sitting still, wouldn't that detect it as a rock or a log, so it wouldn't drive over it? It would drive around it. So there's a lot of kinks with this Waymo thing. But again, a cat died, a dog died, and it drove through active stand-up after running a red light. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Now I can't say I ride a lot of Lyft, a lot of Uber, a lot of Dash. I stay in the city a lot, so I can't see myself using this right away. I'll probably kind of like an Apple update. I'm gonna wait to see what everyone else is dealing with before I do it. So I might wait a little bit. I'm not gonna say I'll never use it. Depends on the availability, pricing, and how long it takes, and the convenience of it. But major issues with this, and I guess there's been issues also with the self-driving Teslas. That could be a whole nother show. But a lot of the self-driving things, they're having issues with that. So I'm not sure if they're going to make adjustments to the laws about self-driving, or if they're going to take it away. I can't see them taking it away because of the money it's going to save with people. Once they put the system in place, they have the car, they don't have to pay a driver anymore. So it's going to be like, I think this is going to be like the wave of Uber and Lyft in the future. It could be 5, 10 years from now where you're going to get into Uber and everything is going to be driverless. I mean, even cars that aren't electric, I could see them maybe ending up being driverless. So it's only a matter of time for everybody's doing it. But again, this is the early stages. So a dead dog, a dead cat driving through a police standoff is what I've seen so far. We'll see how long it lasts. Um, but it says our San Francisco news site dug up a Reddit post from Sunday titled "Our Waymo just ran over a dog." So now, if I was a dog owner, I'd be pissed, to say the least. The dog owner, I'd be suing everybody. And I'm not the type to just sue, but I mean, that's a situation where, come on now, dog died because your vehicle didn't know how to drive or be programmed properly. Um, Said the passenger said in an update that Waymo had called to make sure we were okay. That's not going to bring the dog back. What else are they supposed to do? I mean, they said they're sending team members to the area to look at the owner of the dog and offer any veterinary similar services. Um, okay, so the dog, it said it's unclear if the dog survived the collision, so I can't assume that the dog died. But again, the only thing Waymo can do is say, "Oh, we'll help. Are you okay? And we'll help pay for your, vet bill or whatever." What else are they going to do? Um, I said this isn't the first involved Waymo crash as of late, and it says in October a tabby cat was killed by robo taxis in San Francisco. Um, Yeah, and I guess this cat was like a neighborhood cat. They used to, this like a stray neighborhood cat that everybody knew that used to hang out at the grocery, like a little corner meat market or like a market on 16th Street. So I guess the cat was there for years and years. The cat kind of lived there. Everybody knew the cat. Cat's gone now, and the dog has been hit as well. So and again, Waymo, it just seems like they're always trying to say something like it's not their fault. It says Waymo said in a statement shared by multiple outlets that the cat darted under our vehicle as it was pulling away. Again, Waymo, it's always the dog wasn't on the leash and the cat darted underneath the vehicle. So it is what it is. I'm not going to use Waymo until other people do. I'm not going to see where it's at. And I guess Elon Musk, he's working on his own company with Teslas about robo taxis, and he's saying that many pets will be saved using his service. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. Anybody out there, have you used Waymo? I guess it's in Tampa right now, but it's not actually in effect. I guess you're going to see the taxis driving around Tampa, but I guess they're just collecting data and doing information to set up the whole process. But we'll see what happens. Are you guys going to use it or not? Now, Dash, you guys aren't familiar with Dash. Dash is like the yellow Tesla that you always see in the cities. They have in Orlando, they have in Miami, Tampa. Now, they're only in the city but it's like $2. You can go anywhere you want in the city. And those are Teslas. Now, Teslas can be self-driven. So I'm assuming in the future that those Dash will be the similar as Waymo, where you'll see cars just driving around all the time with no one in the front seat. Now, how does that work legally? Um, I mean, does the car get a speeding ticket? Does the company get a speeding ticket? I mean, if there's an infraction or if there's an accident, does the car know to stop? Is there something that the rider could use from their phone in an emergency situation where they need to stop the vehicle? Because if I'm riding in a normal taxi or a Lyft or Uber, and I'm driving, and all of a sudden I have chest pain or a medical, or I feel like I'm gonna vomit, I have to get up and jump out the car. And now, if you're in a driverless taxi, how do you stop in an emergency? Like, I mean, can you talk to it? Is there like a cutoff switch or a stop switch or a pullover thing you could do? So it's just weird. I feel like I'd be trapped in the car. If I'm on the highway going somewhere and all of a sudden I need to turn around or I need to do this, you can't stop it. I mean, how do you stop it? So whole nother issue. But so far, Waymo cars have been involved in over a dozen animal-involved crashes since 2021, and San Francisco Chronicle reported National Highway Traffic Safety Administration data on at least 14 animal collisions reported 5 resulted in death. So again, like I said, these are just the 2 or 3 that I'm reading about, but there's been 14 animal collisions and 5 deaths. It also says that in 2022, an estimated 5.4 million cats are hit by cars every year. That's a whole nother show. That seems like a lot of cats to be getting hit by cars. 5 million a year getting hit by cars, and that's a lot daily. So again, they could blame the cat, they could blame the car. It is what it is. But I don't know if I'll be doing this driverless taxi thing for a while. Let me see what kind of comments we got on. Any questions on here now? Let's see what we got. No questions as of right now. Again, we highlighted Reddit today, microdosing Reddit. So if you guys and girls have been using Reddit, you want to try a different way. If you're not concerned with losing, 40, 50 pounds, try microdosing. It's going to be less appetite suppression and a better overall feel. So try it. I mean, the only thing you can do is try it with Reddit. It's not gonna hurt to try it. It's not gonna slow your weight loss progress or anything
Are
like that.
you struggling with stubborn
It might
belly
actually work
fat?
out better for
Introducing
you. It
Titan
might
Medical
actually make you
Center's
feel better just
microdosing
knowing
Retta.
Microdosing. I know a lot of times when people take stuff, if they take an injection once a week or twice a week is good. When they start doing it every day, it just gives them like a more stable sense of whatever. So some people hate injections, some people like them. But again, try it that way, see if it works for you. Now, in terms of Titan events, we don't have any events coming up soon. I know we do have Cars and Couture. I believe that's in March. That's going to be down the road. Cars and Couture is always good. I believe it's going to be at the Motor Enclave again, which is always good. So, and we got some new Titan fleets. So the new Lambos have been wrapped up and this and that. So it'll be out there. The new Vet's going to be out there wrapped up. That's been getting a lot of attention lately. That's probably one of the number one attention cars that we get here at Titan. The Lambo, the McLaren, they got a little bit of motion, but that Vet, for some reason, people love it. They love the spoiler. It just looks crazy, but that will be out there as well. 1,100 horsepower on that Vet, too. So definitely got some firepower. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for today. I'll stay on a couple more minutes, see if you guys have any questions. I'll be back next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have any questions, you could always message me on Instagram, or you could send me a Facebook Messenger, or when you're on Titan Medical's Facebook page and you're watching this later, underneath the comments, just start throwing questions in there. So when I go back, I can see it. I know a lot of people are busy at work or they got stuff going on. It is midday on Friday. So if you get to it later, or you get to it whenever, always shoot some comments, some questions, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Yeah, as you can see the cars in the background right now. But Cars and Couture is going to be nuts. It's at the Motor Enclave, I believe, which is an insane facility here in Tampa. They have their own track, they have their own housing, their own lounges over there. It's like a car playground, exotic, high-end, exotic car playground over there. So yeah. But that again is it. For this week, Titan Lifestyle, I'll be back next week, 2 p.m. If you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do that. Hit the bell also so you notify the videos just like this one. Also, check me out on the podcast, Instagram, Facebook, and his TikTok as well. I'll be back next week for Titan Medical Center. This is Big Dru. I'm out.